It's in the way I talk. I'm so UG. From my head to my feet. So UG. What you get is what you see. I'm so UG. It's in the way I walk. I'm so UG. It's in the way I talk. So UG. From my head to my feet. So UG. What you get is what you see. So UG. I'm so UG.
What up, what up? Welcome to another episode of the TheSoUgPodcast. My name is The Mith, and right now I have a gentleman, Silas Babaluku, aka Babaluku. He's a rapper, producer, musician. Wait, what did I write? I wrote something great. A community youth activist. I was on your Wikipedia.
You know,
I was on the Wikipedia. You know, founder of Babaluku. I mean, we're going to talk about everything that he does. But what up, man? What's
I'm
good?
man. What's good? Thanks for the invite.
Come on, thank you for honoring it. Thank you for honoring it.
Yeah, always.
Like I said, I was Googling you, and I hit up a few of your friends. Right, one of them is Lyrical G.
Yeah.
I hit him up. I was like, hey man, I'm interviewing Baba. What question do you have for him? You can ask him anything. And he said, his was very simple. When is the album dropping? Right? So I was like, wait. So I was like, wait. So I went down and I was like, wait, you don't have an album.
I have a compilation.
You have a compilation, yes,
Yeah.
but you don't have an album.
No.
So Lyrical wants to know when is the album dropping and
Okay.
is he featuring on it?
Okay.
Especially.
And funny enough, Lyrical probably was the first group member I still again would feature on his album.
Yeah.
But as far as my album, it's intricate.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get it. So I had a problem with building hip hop in our language and how it was happening, right?
Yeah.
And so when I came home,
Yeah.
of course, I had a compilation because I had wrote a lot of songs. So I did the Luga Flow Revolution.
Yeah.
Mind you, remember, I'm part of the Bataka squad.
Yes.
So we had the Bataka Revolution.
Yes.
So I was in between two huge concepts and ideas and movements, whereby I was trying to weigh which one is key and important to me. You know, Bataka was easy because there were rappers running around.
And you're like, how many were you in Bataka?
Man, at some point we were more than 10, I think.
Yeah, Bataka was like hectic, eh?
Yeah, we had people coming in, joining, breaking up, but it was like a founding space of passionate guys who loved hip-hop
in local languages,
you know, and were somehow very non-conformist because they were like, we're gonna
you guys broke a lot of rules. Made it real easy for me and my team.
So, you know, what really would hinder me from creating the albums, instead of creating albums, I started to make my whole concept around the collective.
Collectives, yes.
Hence the Babaluku Foundation, you know? Because I was like, yo, Babaluku all stars. So if me, from Bataka Squad, you know, can create a space where all of us could engage, because I felt like I didn't want to rise by myself. It felt very lonely. Remember at the time we could count who was doing what, like on one hand. Like literally,
it really was.
We had like one hand. You could be like, I'm like, okay, that's the end, you know?
Yeah.
So instead of making albums, I invested my time in, can I train more MCs now?
Yeah.
You know, can I take ghetto youth and give them opportunities to see what studios and stages look like and feel like? Can I breed a generation of freestylers who know that, hey, even in my language now, I can just,
get
you know,
busy. I can get it in.
So those are my albums, and now you can catch them on every blueprint in any community.
That is
spitting
true.
fire, like
that is true.
That was my album.
That is
so while my friends were in the studios creating those masterpieces, I took the community route to create a living soundboard that lives with people on a daily. Until today, when people ask me, so where's the music? And I know that people enjoy me when I freestyle more. But when you said, where's the album? I was at Trinity International Hip Hop Festival. I remember Gilbert. The minute one of our peers, the co-host, saw me, it's like, brother Silas, man, you've been championing community. When is the album?
When does it drop?
You know? So it's been coming up a lot. And I even got an offer, big up to the brother GH, you know, Coptic in New York. He hit me up. He said, brother Silas, you know, this is what his offer is like. When I see you've been doing a lot of work for others, have you put out an album of recent? And he say, like, yo, give me the vision, give me the idea, I'll finance everything.
Oh, wow.
You understand that?
Yeah.
Right? And so now I'm indebted to allow myself to release. And community could suck you in, because the only reason I haven't put out an album is because of my community. So now the community is releasing me a bit more. I see more, things coming into fruition.
So when is the album? Because Lyrical G wants to feature. Is he
2020.
producing and producing?
We are in 2021. Okay? Before I celebrate December.
And every December you have...
Yeah, exactly. I will have a full EP.
I know you have an EP
No, what I'm doing, I'm progressing now.
Because he snitched on you.
He snitched on you. No, that is a collabo one.
Okay.
But
you're going to have a solo.
Like a solo EP.
Okay.
For people to, warm up again. And I always tell people, so when you think of Babaluku, the years, I've spent 14 years in community development.
Yeah.
So researching, learning, and seeing what's viable for our times.
Okay.
So the next thing you're going to see from me will most likely be an art piece.
Okay.
So you might call it an album in your framework, which means it will have a soundtrack for you to listen to.
Okay.
But it'll have images, it'll have stories, it'll have motion.
Okay.
Because I embody the spirit now of knowing that we've been blessed to get here. Okay. And at the same time, we must propel new structures that inspire the generation on how to plug in. So I'm always a mixed media creative now. I like... the whole...
This sound like Gilbert's ideas, but it's no problem. He doesn't have the microphone. No, so another thing we wanted to talk about, was, like in November we met at JB's situation.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of history that you were talking about that even JB was surprised by. We were like, wait, what? Now you tapped on it earlier when you're talking about your father passing away. But he was such a well-known man of God, well-known in the community, doing all this work. How was it growing up with him? And then also, you going into hip-hop, was he looking at you like...
It's Bob Marley.
How was that for you?
I think, in every cultural norm, when you're from Africa or Uganda, must I say, there's this concept that you must do what your parents have, designed for you.
Yeah.
There's no self-identifying. Yeah. You must become what they've orchestrated. Whereby some have fallen, prey to that. But the defiant ones, we fight out.
Yeah, we rebel.
Yeah, we become unless they say rebellious, but we choose the alternative.
Yeah, creative is a creative.
I love my parents. I wouldn't say I rebelled. I had hoped that what I would do will be embraced with honor, so it could bring them, that level of respect and value. Yeah. But it takes time for a guy like me at the age of, let's say 12, 13, 14, who likes to dance. Yeah. Who's in a Sunday school choir. Yeah. Who's introduced to music, learning about little keys, drums.
You were a dancer?
We did it all, man.
You were a singer?
I dream of doing an R&B album, man.
This is a lot. This is great. But yes, you're saying, sorry.
There's no way we would not have been hindered, because you come from a place where your parents have a certain structure.
Yes.
But you have to be this way. Yeah. You're a preacher's son. Yeah. Preacher's son need to be, praying at the church. And, I'm all for everything that's put out for me. Yeah. But what I've learned in life, if you're not yourself, you cannot succeed. Yeah. So I like the defiance in me that allowed me to turn what they saw as negative or destructive into something positive. Yeah. Because then later, my dad was a musician. Okay. Put it like that. Yeah. And he was the first gospel reverend or apostle to, even in the cassette tape era, pioneer.
Oh, that's interesting.
Setting a trend for Christians to record music that would then be disseminated. We had a shop on Button Street, and he did put a whole setup there. And so during that time, he financed his ministry through that a lot. Because people were buying these cassettes in volume. There will be volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. So he was a creative at the core. In my living room, every day going to school, I was in day school. Yeah. There was a band playing, recording tapes. Oh. Every day, daily.
So for you, that sipped into you also.
It put me very close, man, to that energy, to that vibe. Yeah. My dad was like someone who loved life. You know what I mean? Yeah. So even in everything he touched, there was passion, there was be excellent, But one thing I always recall, he stood for what he believed in, man. That's the most powerful, like, confidence that you could borrow from, like.
So that definitely.
Hey, that it aligned me. Like I could not become mediocre from that point. Because I said, when they were trying to attack Dad, you know, what did he do? He said he went and put out a shirt. It had a sword on it. It had the word on it. You know what I'm saying? And he'll flex his muscle.
We need gunshots for that one.
Listen, man, if they're gonna do it, okay, let's just all look fashionable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he had that swag, from jump of identifying how to attack their opponents, but bring peace to every situation.
Yeah.
And that allowed me to now, as I got older with my passion for the hip hop culture, to always tell people that, listen, my intent has nothing to do with how popular I will be. It all has to do with what I stand for. And as long as I'm playing that role, I'm fine with how I'm translated in various communities. Because at the end of the day, what I slip with, my vision, my passion, what I love to do, and is it actually supporting and helping my community? That's it at the end of the day.
So obviously his passion for community obviously rubbed off onto you, like, heavily.
And not only my dad, even my grandpa.
Yeah, okay.
Grandpa was a huge community guy.
Okay.
Like, he's literally responsible for resettling a whole entire tribe back into Uganda Kingdom.
Oh. Okay. Tell us the story.
So,
that's God damn it. Tell us this dumb story. What?
So if you hear the Makenya tribe, it's part of the Baganda tribe, but it parted because of certain, things that went on in the kingdom. And years later, they were looking for a way to return.
Yes.
And so my grandpa was one of the major men who rode his bicycle village to village, mobilizing them to ensure that the return was accepted by the kingdom so that they could resettle back into the spaces.
Oh, snap. So you had no choice but to work with the community.
Listen.
You had to, like...
You cannot run away
you can't
from
run away from
DNA,
it. You can't run away from it. It's like...
Even if I wanted to front and quit, like, it's not easy to work with community, and a lot of people don't get it.
Yeah.
Because, when you say community here, people think charity. Oh, you're doing some charity work. Yes, charity is very minimal to the concept of working with community.
Yeah.
Working with community, you must be standing in a very honorable, commendable, committed space.
Yeah.
To literally infuse your values, your ideas, and what you stand for in these spaces where generations will borrow from them.
Yeah.
So that really is not something you do by just hitting a lab or rocking a stage. It's a day-to-day infuse that I'm working with you. I'm standing with you. When you're falling down, I'm holding space so we could keep rising. When you feel destroyed, that we could rebuild. I'm encouraging, So all of those things, people find it hard to even take it there. They're doing some charity. That's for white folk.
Yeah.
There's white people who come out here to popularize the idea that we need aid.
Yeah.
But we're proud sons of the soil, so we work for our community and ensure that we're well.
Okay. We're talking about the documentary we recorded back in the day.
Yeah.
And I remember there was when I was searching, there was about the diamonds in the rough.
Diamonds in the rough, yeah.
Diamonds in the rough. And I remember when I was watching it, there's that clip when your mom was being interviewed. If I might be mistaken, because I watched it a while back. Your mom was being interviewed, and she said how you had come back from Canada, saw some kids, you guys have space at home, you have a gang of clothes that you've obviously grown out of because, you went to Canada and the burgers are heavy. The burgers are delicious. So you said, hey, let me get these kids who you're seeing and let me help them. Let's house them. Let's give them space. Let's give them clothes. So why is it that for you stuff like that started happening? Like, because most guys are going to be like, listen, I'm chasing my rap career. I'm trying to get this shit done. That's where my focus is. But for you, it was like, okay, while my focus is on rap, how about I just help out these guys? Like, you always felt like it could go hand in hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's growing up in the diaspora. Like, growing up in Canada where you're nothing.
Yeah.
Push you closer to actually feeling with someone who's nothing here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when you come back here, you're blown away on how privileged you are.
Yeah.
You know? So
you just came off the plane.
It quickly puts in perspective that you could do something if you care to do something.
Yeah.
You know, so I think for me, growing up in Makindye, I always was that kid, man. Like I was that kid that wanted my friends to always be on, you know? Like there was no single time it was just me.
Just you, yeah.
There was always us. Hey, we're going, man. Like where are you? Like, hey, you know, it's a formation that was our childhood way of doing things. So returning, it was listen, when you're away, your friends are writing you letters. Hey, can you bring us this?
That's true. And the Source magazines had come. Damn it.
So literally, I always tell people the story that I think I probably was the first dude to bring murder. Snoop Dogg's murder was the case in the country.
Oh wow!
Because this was at
So you're the one who influenced Lyrical G. Damn it!
Yeah, he's West Coast a lot, right?
He's super.
No, Lyrical G actually started with EPMD, man.
Is it?
He was a Dev Squad cat.
Oh,
you know what I'm
thank you
saying?
for this information. He can't talk. He can't talk crap to me anymore. He can't talk crap to me.
EPMD, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but at the end of the day, I feel like my heart to be able to bring, you know, my art and my community into a conversation where it becomes my front line came from appreciating my childhood friends and also always finding out ways. I would usually get my mom to help my friends, always. So if there's anyone I put in more trouble, it's my mother, because I'll collect everybody. I say, Mom, they have a good idea. We need them to do A plus B. And then she'll go out of her way
and figure out how to make it done.
My mom has sold stuff for kids from the ghetto, like in her living room in Canada, and send them like that 2 Gs or that 1 G. You know what I'm saying? Just because we live in a community where we're like, we might not be the ones doing it, but we're still on a platform.
Yeah, so why not help someone?
Why not? You know what I'm saying? And then that's how they get tested too, on how serious they are. Because some we've worked with and they've still continue to fail. Some we've worked with and they've excelled, you know? So our idea is that we don't quit on our people, but we'll continue to find, you know, the knowledge, the wisdom to be supportive at all times.
That is dope, man. I mean, I have a question from almost famous DJs Mad Mudokolo. He was like, we've seen you you didn't want to just limit it to that. He said, we've seen you do charity work, right? But you don't want to limit it to just, it's not just charities. It's this. But he says, what was the main goal with this work that you were doing? What is the main goal? Do you feel like you've succeeded? And also, improving on hip hop in UG, was that one of the things you had wanted to do?
I mean, I have a clip when I first landed off the flight and I hit the stage at Sabrina. I made a statement. And you could replay it today. And you say that there's no single word I've went back on. Whatever I said on the first day back at Sabrina's nights.
Saying.
Yo.
What did you say?
I said, I am here to work with everyone. Who's empowering the culture. And I made sure that I also stated that I would not be participating in pop culture for any notable viability. It was there. And I said, but I would stand with my community to ensure that the hip-hop voice in Uganda grows. So Babaluku is my community, my advocacy work. That's me standing with everyone who's standing. And anyone could attest. If people have brought opportunities of education to this country, I bring anyone to a challenge to see if they've done more than I've done.
In when you said that, us guys, my team and your team, we had friction at some point. We had friction at some points, and it was. I still don't get it. No, you know what it was. I still don't get it because initially it was us rapping in English. Well, that's what we thought. Right. So it's us rapping in English. But in my head, I was like, okay, that's cool, but here we are speaking in English, and we're talking about UG. Right? So I was like, is it us rapping in English and saying, yo, I'm driving a Maserati, which we never did? Or is it us rapping in, like, I didn't get it. Like, but also you just said something about pop. Unfairly, because we had this team behind us. People assumed us pop, and we're like, guys, we really rap. We were really but it deviate in the trenches with you guys. It's just that these guys got us polished our sneakers a little bit, but we're like really in the trenches with you guys. So in my head, it's like, what was the issue? Which I think you also had much later. I mean, when it comes to the beats, what has been the issue? Because it feels like there's so much drawback when it comes to, like, people are like, Baba, man. Ooh, what do you, from your side, what do you feel like has been the issue?
From my side, I'm well. I'm well. Like, let me tell you something. So check it. You know, so what people know in Uganda, really, yes, when you talk about beef, really, the longest beef was between me and you guys.
If
anyone want to mention beef in the country, it was between me.
It was quite a long.
And then me positioned, but it was other people doing the dirt.
Yeah.
Meaning that the young ones who came from the ghetto, who had their own mind that I couldn't control. You understand me?
Those guys,
they
in shopping malls. Listen, I'm just trying to get crisps and go home, and my man is like attacking me in the aisle. I'm like, guy, like, you gotta leave me alone.
Now, you know, let me tell you the truth. So I was with Navio, and we were doing the MTN rap house there, and he gives me the shopping mall, you know, and right? I had never heard of that story. You understand me?
It was so nuts because we were literally in the shopping mall, just trying to, and it's like what, 10 p.m. And we're trying to just get something. We've been recording and performing, so we just want to get something to snack on and go home. And then your guy comes and he's like, "Yo," and they cussing us out, and we're like, "Wait."
but you know, I'll put it like this in perspective.
Was a lot, man.
So I ran and walked through community space of many guys aspiring to MC.
Yeah.
And when you aspire in the MC, you always draw into your space in that I'm better than. I'm gonna go get him.
It's the MC thing.
You know, it's a lion type thing. Like, I'm gonna go raw. Yeah. You know what I mean? I make myself like, yo, I could get at you, son.
Okay.
You know? So I think that when those young people were growing in the space of learning what hip hop culture really is to them.
And the Smack DVDs were rolling around at that time.
You understand me? So check this. I was attacked by them. Yeah, you know what the attack was? Well, you know, Navio's on the Billboard. How come we're not on the Billboard? Yet we're the baddest. You know? I usually,
so it's like, it's different things. Yeah.
So even me who was dealing in the space, it would come back into my space to be like, yo, what is happening?
Yeah.
You know, the idea here was that you're firing a bunch of dope MCs. Yeah. They're representing the community. Yeah. And they're focusing on the agenda of growing the culture. And then when it got individuated, you know, it brought a lot of that friction. But I also like to say that for me, because even when you hear, like, I wrote a lot of battle songs I never released. Yeah. Because my spirit would always caution me. Yeah. What is your agenda?
Yeah.
Right?
Also, I feel like the battle scene, which was like a thing that us guys never really dived into. It's like, of course, there was subliminals going on back and forth, especially between you and I.
Yeah.
Which is like the craziest, especially and then we're both September babies, right? So it's like, of course, it makes sense. but like between you and I, there was stuff lying around. But then it was like the urge to do a full song, and then you've everything that they have said about rappers.
Yeah.
When you feed into that battle song, they're going to be like, "We told you." Like, so for me, I was like, I can't. I want to. In my heart of hearts, I want to.
Trust. I have a bunch of them. I have a bunch of them throughout like a whole certain era.
Yeah.
Whereby I still play them today.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, even if I click today, just because I was on a sideline, I feel like I had something to say.
I heard the thing. I was at GK's up here, and I was like, wait. I talked to this guy because I was in India, right? And that's when we had a conversation.
Yeah.
So I get back and I'm like, wait, I talked to this man like just yesterday because I landed that day. And obviously I'm landing. I want to be in the studio. So I'm in the studio.
You know what? A lot of people don't credit GK, man. Salute GK.
He never really said anything.
Saying? A lot of people don't talk about the brother.
He was
but I have to say that he hosted a golden era moment for all of us to freaking find sound, have beats.
One of the craziest. I have space to record for free. You know, but then he one of the best beats I ever heard was he made something for you and you had Sheila on it. Sheila.
Yeah, Sheila.
And I forgotten the sample. It was a crazy sample. And I remember when I was watching the Transformers movie, it's right there. The old school song is there. And I was like, damn, I always remember this song. And I was mad at him because I was like, you gave it to the enemy. He's my baby. I was just so hectic. It was so hectic, but yeah.
And to highlight, people is that we are young.
Yeah,
we are vigilant.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna lead a youthful movement, like you have to have that edge where you're ready to, you're ready to be on the front line. You know what I mean? Let's go. Like what territory? Like remember growing up, like when we were growing up, we used to go to the neighborhood after watching a karate movie.
You want to fight.
Attack the other guys
you want to show him the skills.
You know what I mean? So I think it was the same concept with this young man. Because when they grew up and started to also find themselves feeling certain ways, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Then they didn't know what to do. Yeah. Because like now I want to hang with the Myth. You know what I'm saying? Now I want to talk. You know what I'm saying? So,
I'm a cool ass dude, my nigga. It's like, so Rudende has a question. He's like, what are your thoughts on the pressure on creators to keep churning out content lest they are seen as irrelevant? Does the hype machine help or hamper creativity?
Creative, when you're at the source of your creativity, I say it's infinite.
That is true.
The pressure is,
but then I think this is like releasing stuff because you don't know how the Uganda market is.
You ain't gotta release nothing. I give my story all of the time. As long as you know where your source is, do it at your own time. Like who you working for? You ain't working for you. Because if you ain't working for you, I don't know what business you're doing. As a creative, man, you have an infinite source of gold to extract and be guided in any direction you want to go.
Any day.
Listen, you could pause for 5 years.
Any day.
And when it itches to unleash again, it will still pound them like it was last year.
That was the Ugandan, my album last year. I hadn't recorded in 4 years.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't feel the urge. It's minor. But then you release the album and the impact it had, because it's just like, if you want to release, but I think where he's coming from, especially him being in media, it's if you don't have a new song today,
are you relevant?
Yeah.
Check out Busta Rhymes, man. I like to give
people no, but in the Uganda industry, like certain people like yourself, even me, a lyrical whatever, for us our brands speak louder.
Yeah, different.
But then, like, for the younger generation, they feel like, hey, you have to have a song every other week. We look at Fig for Maker. Yeah. He had a big record last year that came into the new year. And then I know he has released 2 songs since. And I'm like, whoa, wait.
I'll help him out. We're in a place where, when we say industry in Uganda, we are challenged. We don't know what kind of industry we're referring to or what we mean. Our work is not viably paying us for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Promoters have not established any relationship with anything.
Before you go there, let me throw it at you. We're going to talk about that evolution of the industry. So carry on.
But my brother, what he's saying, this is it. All cultures, if you've lived in LA, if you've lived in New York, if you've been around an industry development, I lived in Berlin, I've lived in LA, I've spent a lot of time in New York. I've been around powerful creatives. And one thing that I adopted was the understanding that it was not just about the song, it was not just about the recording artist, but it was most importantly about the environment. And that when you created a dope environment, then everyone wanted to walk into your environment. But what they did in your environment is cued by your intent. So we're not very intentional here in our operation because we have chose to be slaves to a semi-system that does not treat us honorably. So for people who are begging the corporates for endorsement, you know your hustle, you know your struggle, but you're bending low. So because you're bending low, the generation is going to bend low and feel frustrated. For people who are remotely building and creating brands that are viable and are lasting and are still here, they're also attracting a certain generation that is learning that, hey, I could do it for my hood, man. I'm going to be over there and set my station up and be ready to facilitate my hood.
People,
so it's about how you view where you're going. We get lost all the time when we talk about music industry in Uganda. Because
like what is the industry?
Ship ain't here. It ain't landing. There's no publishing, muffles. We're not getting his checks. You know what I'm saying?
Your songs are playing on radio.
But you ain't getting, you know what I'm saying? So hold up. What are we talking about? Matter of fact, big up to Bush, baby. We also now running.
You had that conversation with him.
It's a continual conversation.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll get a chance to feature all of you guys as we go ahead.
Perfect.
But it's been something that's coming out of this kind of conversations.
Yeah.
You know, can we do something to make things right?
Yeah.
Since we understand that we've all done it wrong and it's okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we've got some right, but we've done a lot of stuff wrong.
Yeah.
Can we make it better for the generation that's coming now that we're in a position and are informed to do better?
Yeah.
You know, so State of the Culture is running on STV. We're doing it. And we're just doing it from like a passion place.
The man plugged STV so casually.
Oh, you know, I'm not plugging.
Just so casually.
I'm all in plugs.
He plugged it like this. Snuck that thing in. I couldn't control it.
Bush, you know, he wants a paycheck. Holla.
Pay me. That is hectic. The guy just snuck that thing in. Couldn't do anything. No, but yo, so when we talk about the evolution of the industry, especially the hip hop industry, genre, let me say, we're talking off camera, and you were telling me about how you were approached by a corporate on the phone situation.
Yeah,
and now you still hear those stories to this day where the corporate has this huge budget.
Yeah.
But the person he treats the worst is the creative. You know, what do you have to say about that? What do you want the creatives to do? Like, I mean, after a while, you and I and Navio and us guys, we're going to like step back. Mm-hmm. You know,
definitely
fatherhood, marriage, and all this type of stuff is going to come in. What do you want the younger guys to go away with? What do you want them to do?
I mean, right now for the younger generation is ownership.
Yeah.
Learn about the niches that you want to target. You know what I mean? Study them well and just ensure you own everything you do. Yeah. And also there's something I've learned about Uganda. You know, I don't want to sink you in a burning, you know, space. Yeah. And they say, but Bubba said that. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you something that's very interesting. It's like when you work for, sometimes you forget that you have to develop yourself because you're working for. So you spend your years in a hustle, working for, you get comfortable. The check is coming in every Friday. You pick it up, but your progress is limited. Yeah. So always push yourself to find yourself in a position to work with instead of working for.
That's great.
Because by the time I'm working with you, it means I treat you with honor. I give you the same respect. And I'm coming at this at an equal value proposition. Yeah. And I don't see that happening in my country. Mm-hmm. So you find that an artist is the artist, but is working for the promoter. How the hell? Like, or if not, the promoter here in Uganda is working for, you know, the producer guy in the lab, you know? Yeah. And so there's a lot of exploitation due to the lack of understanding how we build relationships within the space. Yeah. So learn and be inquisitive and question everything about the relationship in which you're operating to grow your craft. So that you could bring some value back. So that you could also feel like the people you're working with. I always tell the story.
Value you. Yeah.
The first time I paid a lot of money to get my music mastered was the biggest disappointment of my life. Because I ended up in a lab where the craft that was given back to me just didn't sound like what I expected. But the money was gone. I had now a product that I'm not going to do anything with. Yeah. You know what that put me into? A situation of saying, like, I just paid all of that money. For what? And this is where I've ended up. Yeah. I started telling myself, now I don't want to pay anybody for anything. Yeah. If you believe in me, hit me up. If you want me to be in your studio, call me up. Yeah. If you see that I'm potential, you know, I'm giving you the riot act of a disappointed young man who's like, now they will see it by the fruits of what I'm creating. Yeah. Because that will earn me an invitation. That will earn me a call. Yeah. That will put me on a stage.
On the stage,
You know, so sometimes you got to check your fire points.
Yeah.
You know, my fire points were like, okay, I'm not paying anymore. Believe in me.
Yeah.
Because if you believed in me, I knew you're going to look out for me.
Yeah, that is true.
You understand me?
Yeah.
So find people who believe in you, man, and let them run with you.
Yeah.
This industry, we need to believe in as younger people. Yeah. And give them an opportunity to have candid conversations. And I think this podcast is contributing to that.
Yeah.
So they can see that, no, we're not trying to separate ourselves from you. Yeah. But we are here as templates of what has become what you're using now. Yeah. So use us for whatever you think we could contribute.
That is dope. Tell me about the last few weeks you've been doing you've been on stages. You've been on stages. Yeah, you've been on stages. And I watched you on TV the other week. I watched a clip from the thing at Cayenne.
Yeah.
The event at Cayenne.
Yeah.
I watched a few clips. The old school thing. I watched a few clips. I watched the TV thing last week that I watched.
Yeah.
You and MC Flower.
Yeah.
Tell me about that relationship, like you guiding her, because like I remember back in the day, there's this one time I was listening to you guys on Radio City with Mr. DJ.
Yeah.
I was listening to you guys and I was like, she's got it, like, but now it's like she's just gone. She's gone. She's like, now it's like super confident. It's in and out of English. It's ridiculous what she's doing. Like, tell me about that relationship. Like, what is it working with someone that young, growing with, and also helping them elevate their skill level?
Yeah, and you say something like that's very paramount, in and out of English.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of people thought we battled English rappers.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But the idea was we were encouraging, by being defiant, rappers to go toward their native languages.
Yeah, yeah.
We never say that nobody could rap in the English
language.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hence that craft can also be presented in that way.
In that way, yeah.
You know, so a lot of people who are just misguided and didn't understand. We were about
because we were like, fam.
Papito
is in Swahili and French and Spanish. And then the little English and Uganda. It was like nuts.
So met MC Flower at the age of 7.
Yeah.
And it's by God's grace that, the energy guides you with people that you don't know where you're going to end up.
Yeah.
But you become family. So she became our little daughter.
Okay.
We took her on. She became Babaluku, spirit representative as far as like children. Because even she used to do ciphers for little kids in her school program.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So schools benefited from Flower being in their spaces.
In their school, yeah.
Because it came with Flower brings a program to your school.
That
So it comes with that energy of backdrop that even when she MCs, it's not like, I'm a dopest MC. She's like, I was living. This is where I built my friends. This is the communities I came from. This is what we did. Yeah. There's something we did on the last show I told people that
the back and forth?
Yeah, if you're not from Babaluku, that would trick you.
That back and forth was so hectic.
And
you,
funny,
Saint, and her.
And funny enough, it's like, so Saint whispers to her and say, yo, we should, do the whole, and I was the one to engineer it to look effortless.
Yeah.
To make sure the mics are landing in everyone's hands so that it comes back like it's still a part of what's happening.
Yo, that thing was so fly.
But
we saw you with Spider MC also.
Yes.
Last year during the lockdown.
The whole COVID, man. Yeah. Funny enough, when you look at Flower, this young girl, and you look at Spider, this other young adult, and that the energy that literally continues to perpetuate how people receive what we're doing comes from a cipher spirit. Us being able to cipher and be spontaneous and genuinely talk about our present moments.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that is a skill that a lot of young people still today haven't fully accessed, because it's like, if you don't go to church, you can't be the same spiritual expression.
Yes, that is true. That is true. Yeah.
So it's like that with us. It's like, so it doesn't matter where we are. If you've been in our ciphers, it's like you came to our church. And so every time we connect, the fire's going to be automatic. But with Flower's relationship, it's just been, that relationship of ensuring that when we talk about hip-hop culture and women in Uganda, that Babaluku did not leave the women's voice behind.
Yeah.
Hence, she represents the phenomenal women, idea and vision to inspire other young women and grown women to know that they could participate in the culture.
So what is her goal with it? Because I guess you're the right person to talk to about this. What is her goal with it? Are we looking at a female MC that will come out, and we know what your calling is. Your calling is like, let me get community, let me work with community. Yeah. Is her calling the same, or is her calling, hey, let me put out this album, this EP, this song, this whatever, this project, and be on this continental stage? Because I feel like we've heard many female MCs on the continent. You have Sampa the Great. We have our very own Keko, who bodied so many things.
Yeah.
I feel like she
could move in that direction. Let me tell you something unique about Flower.
Yeah.
She's what they call, dexterous. You know what I mean? She could be in any space to morph and make it happen. But one thing I understand about her, she's never had the industry hype. She's never been attracted to that.
Which is why she's important.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
She's never been attracted. Right now, she's doing sound. Okay? So she's doing sound on movie sets and stuff like that. That's where her passion is, right? And so we celebrate that. And so when she comes back to MC, now like you're telling me, Baba, where's the album? I was like, the last conversation I was telling Flower, I said like, yo, we're supposed to be actually getting together for your EP conversation.
What's
let's
happening?
do something, because people are still looking at Babaluku. It's like, yo, she doesn't have an album. Why?
Yeah. And I bet this last event, it must have been even louder.
No, it's coming louder. Like everywhere I show up, it's like, yo, we need something. We need something. But I'm allowing also the natural move and emotional things, because what has happened through COVID and even like these events that we've been a part of, it's actually showing that people still have love for genuine hip hop culture.
Yeah,
I went from the hype. Like the love is here.
Yeah.
And I would just need to like usher things that will also be honorable to us, versus than trying to please what they're requesting. What the people
wanting,
you know. So I think that relationship is growing, and we're definitely going. I want to play more now, you know. For the last 14, I've been community.
Yeah,
I'm moving into an era where
action,
like you know, I was trying to hit you up doing the big global thing, right?
Yes.
That's all my new play space.
Okay,
it's like, let me produce some hip hop shows.
Yeah,
you know, let's do it. You know, so I'm getting the opportunity now to flex. You know,
that time we couldn't link because.
Yeah, I know.
My younger brother and everything is, you know, but anyway, we can connect on that. Now, a few last questions. Do you think Uganda needs a sound? Right? And hip hop has always been a voice for the people. Is it still that these days in Uganda?
Man,
do I
still think Uganda needs a sound?
Yeah.
Uganda has always had its sound.
Yeah.
How we've used it and otherwise is up to us, the people, to translate. The reason someone would ask, does Uganda have a sound, comes from the idea that there's been a lack of occupying space with our original sound. And I think it should be, can we now encourage producers to bring the sound to the front line? But man, there's crazy sounds here. How can you even question if we got sound? You could go to Acholi, you could go to the West, you could go to the East.
That's really what I did with the album. We were just like,
man, this is infinite sound. It's how you look at it and how you tap in. We just did a Back to the Source compilation album. Actually, we were talking about album. I have a full album sitting at home.
Release the Kraken. What did they do? Drop the bomb.
We did a Back to the Source album, and literally it was something we did with chanting a lot. Like a lot of the hooks are just chanting.
Oh, okay.
You know, and we went into the narrative, not to write directly, but to be very poetic from an indigenous tonality expression. There's songs I hear and I'm like in a transient energy, you know? But
are you smoking weed when you do this? What is that?
It's called Back to the Source, so I tap into the ancestral realm. And I try to bring back what they are manifesting forward.
You know, and to go back into that realm, you might need help. That's classic. No, yeah. So as far as
we got sound, you know, we definitely have sound.
We just have to
bring it to the forefront.
We just have to
utilize
commercializing it in a way.
Yeah. And then the other one was
do you think hip hop used to be a voice for the people?
Voice for the
do you
people.
think UG hip hop is that?
UG hip hop has always been a voice for the people. Yeah. What a lot of people don't know, whether it's us, Bataka, whether it's you guys, Clear Cut.
Yeah.
We grew in an urban space, so literally our face for hip hop culture was to first empower ourselves. Learn about this culture that we love a lot, and then start occupying spaces. We would not be friends if those spaces were not developed. Is that a people gist? Yes, it's a people gist. It's bringing us together. It's connecting you. It's giving you friends. You're growing in a space authentically different.
Yeah.
But you're given an overview of those who share similar thoughts and ideas. You know, that will either guide you into competitiveness or into, a different route that you might want to take. A lot of people tried the music thing and left. Yeah. Because it wasn't making them money. That means that their spirit wasn't here.
Yeah.
You know? And so at the end of the day, I feel like, as far as we're concerned, this music is for the people, will always be for the people. And what people don't know, hip hop in Uganda has the most export of community development conversations. When you look at the brothers from BPU, when you look at the brothers from the Black Rest, which is Talanta Youth Movement, when you look at the brothers who work with Ngulu, Lira, there's just so much community engagement in hip hop. Yeah. It is just also not brought to the forefront to be celebrated. And I think that this kind of just now that we are in the power to get media together. Yeah. We are the faces now to bring you what you've been not seeing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If someone say like, hijack the news. So it's like we're hijacking our hip hop narrative. We're taking it back.
Right the fuck.
Okay. And we will be doing and showing you what you haven't been seeing that's been here. And you'll totally be surprised that it's been here. Because media has been playing this whole barricade where you can't see it. Yeah. But we've been out here about it. We've been like, hip hop for the people, it's not even questionable. Yeah. In Uganda today, a lot of people try to judge hip hop from the pop culture effect. Please don't do that. Like
it's completely
really a misguided thing. Like
it's really
don't do that. Like, just know the power of pop culture and what it does. Yeah. And honorably have a pop culture conversation. But don't trickle it into hip-hop. When you want to talk hip-hop, then
hit us up.
Real hip-hop.
Hit us up.
Hit us up. Let's have this conversation. Yeah. You'll be introduced to a whole new world, brother.
Perfect. I have this one question. I never knew where this particular situation came from. But I have this question. How did that Utake anthem come about?
Yeah, Utake anthem, man.
Because in my head, I was like, man, because it's like at the height of the drama. Yeah. Then this thing comes out. And I'm like, no, what the hell is this? Like, so for me, I'm like, we just go get this big acts from Kenya, from Tanzania, and completely ignore the fact that there's a battle going on, my gentleman.
But like I told you earlier, like, I got into a space where I knew my intent was genuine for everyone. Yeah. So I would not stop any conversation that was hindering progress for the culture. Okay. Like, I was like, I don't care what it takes. Yeah. We need to raise the banner. We need to go higher. Let's go.
That was high.
So, my man Shadrach with the hip hop Converse thing.
It has to be Shadrach.
I was doing a Babaluku work and it was like looking at that, right? Yeah. So he hit me up and he said, yo, I'm thinking that we could do A+B. Remember the Utaka nights that used to happen, right?
Yes.
And so he's hit me up and said, I think we could do something like this, but, budgets, blah, 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 not really the greatest. Like, what can you do? And so we partnered with Shadrach, actually.
Okay.
To be able, I brought the media crew, that did everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he also supported the logistics. You know what I mean? And we said, let's have the conversation. It actually turned into a conversation of us traveling from Kampala, Nairobi to Dar es Salaam. Matter of fact, I was here with AY at Ngoni Studio.
Yes, because AY at that time was back and forth here quite a bit recording this side.
And so big up to Eddie, good enough production.
Yes,
you know what I'm
good
saying?
Enough, man. Come on, man. Come on.
That piece of work, I always say for me, even if I had never done another song, it led me into the future of hip hop in the region.
It really did.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's how I look at it. I said because...
But how did you get these artists? Who produced the record?
Of course, Eddie. Eddie produced
I thought he was recording it.
No, Ngoni.
Oi.
Come on, man. Good enough.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know he made hip-hop beats.
Uganda. Oh, come on.
That man was like, Nico Diggy.
No. Before Diggy, he also did Kampala City.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Kampala City.
I think Papito was on that.
He was, a lot of rappers were. He was always here to support the culture, man, and we miss him.
No.
But he did a great job in our time.
That's great. I didn't know he produced that record.
Yeah,
so then how do you get this? So you go to Nairobi.
So then Shad's got AY, he's here in Kampala. They called me to the studio. Yeah. And then right there, like after we, I dropped my bars, AY is the dopest dude, man. AY is like there's artists I've been in the lab with, but there's just people you're just
every day
like effortlessly record with, and you're like, man, I wish I had 20 buddies like this. Yeah, you know
every day. AY is
making
one
it
of those,
easy, like
he sings, he'll rap, he'll do whatever he wants.
And
like this.
And so it was a pleasure working with him.
Yeah.
So we finished that, and then we sit back in a little conversation. I said, yo, we should actually get Joe Kali.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Shad hits up Joe Kali.
Oh, man.
And before we know, we're like, okay, this is good. This is what's going to be Kampala, Nairobi, Da.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, much love and respect to Shadi. You always looked out for the culture.
Always
You
did.
played
Even
your
now
role.
with
It's
his
still-
Christian,
Yeah.
him born again, he's doing the Christian hip hop and
You
all
know,
that.
exactly.
Which is a space that we need to also
Very
tap
powerful.
into. Yeah.
So, you know, he's a good eye for the culture.
Yeah.
And he's played his role rightfully so, you know, where his passion is, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And for me, it's like those kind of relationships.
Yeah.
Many people give up on the culture, man.
Yeah,
Many people.
Shadrach rocked with us. Shadrach, there are few names, Shadrach, Dawu, even Ngoni still,
You know?
because he gave lyrical proof and code the space to work and
You know?
with no end and all. And I think they're getting back into studio. I hope they get
Yeah,
back.
they're about to drop something.
I hope they're getting
I heard.
back.
I saw
I
a
hope they're
little
getting
clip
back.
of nice
Yeah,
Kampala. You know
I
what I'm
hope
saying?
they're getting
I
back. They
So,
better
you
get
know,
back. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, bro, it's like we were designed to be in the spaces to usher something.
Yeah.
And whatever that something is, it's literally up to us
Yeah.
to ensure that we are genuine, we are authentic, and that we are letting it breathe and show us its way as we, you know, get into other things. Like, I'll always be here for the culture in the city.
Yeah.
If I'm in Uganda.
If he's in Uganda, you know what's crazy?
And you're looking.
What's crazy about this is when we're talking, I said, are you in Uganda? He says, yes. I said, good. Before you fly out, because I know it will be after this. Before you fly out, I need you to do this for me. It's like, literally, I was like, I didn't say hello. Are you in Uganda? Yeah. Okay, good. Let's do this.
So, you know, it's a COVID blessing. You know,
Yeah.
it's holding us on the continent longer, but
Yeah.
it's also, we're turning into a lot of positive actions
Yeah.
and learning more of what we are capable of, you know, giving to the community.
Yeah.
But I think it's commendable, it's honorable to see people put the effort into now
Yeah.
building the interface for hip hop.
Yeah.
Because before, you're going to TV stations, you're going to radios, and they just,
And they're not
you know,
giving you
drawing
the
hinges,
space.
you know.
Yeah,
And now
yeah.
with a digital era, I say, who you gonna ask permission, man? We just
That
get it
is
done.
true.
You know what I mean? And so, you know, a lot of the young people who are watching, man, own your neighborhoods, man. Like,
Yeah.
take this jewel from me right now.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in Kampala to make this money. You could be in Masaka and own Masaka. Like, ensure that you're owning Masaka.
One of the
You know
greatest-
what I'm saying?
The guys who I look out to,
You
the
know what I'm
Masaka
saying?
guys, Saint Maximin.
Hey.
I think is like who are the rappers you're looking up at, who you're looking at and saying potential.
Oh, man, I'm conflicted with that, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the rappers that I see,
Yeah.
due to my understanding of the art of MCing, it
Yeah.
puts me in a critical space
That's why I'm
to
asking.
literally
That's why I'm asking.
yeah, big up. I always say, people always ask me to big up people, but then
Yeah.
I'm conflicted maybe from my era of training MCs
Yeah.
that if I don't see an MC whose patterns or whose flow approach or whose attack,
Yeah.
you know, exhibits a certain sense of excellence, it's hard for me. You know, even when we did the MTN Rap House, by the way, it was
Yeah,
hard.
I was like, no wonder Navi was like softer, because you were like, come on, man. I was like, you can't just like shut these little kids down. You were just like, bro.
I think, like, you know, someone like Spider MC, like, these are my
Spider
favorite
MC, yeah.
MCs. Spider MC, Taye, there's Fitzo MC.
But that's a bias. Every time
no,
you-
hold
let
up.
me say
Don't say it's a bias.
it's a
'cause-
bias because
No, hold
every
up.
time you mention an MC and
Comes from the
and
camp.
their name, yes,
Yeah,
If
is
it
that what
co-
you're going to say?
yes.
Let me tell you something. These MCs are camp affiliates. They come from different neighborhoods. I've had the opportunity to engage with them.
If anyone has their name,
but
such
also,
and such MC,
But hold up, I'll put up another thing.
go on.
If any MC feels they're notable and they
Aha.
ever want to, and they ever want
Oh,
to,
the challenge is being laid down.
No, if you're out there, I implore you, because I know Cypher energy.
Yeah.
Okay, I implore you to come for a convening. It's a love convening, but to test what it feels like to channel from the source, not from the voice, but
Okay.
from the source.
From the source.
You know what I'm saying?
You said
So I have
Spider.
to honor MCs. I said
Uh-huh.
Spider, Fizzy, Taye, there's Nina MC. And they come from a crew called Cypher Kabaka. Eh? So, mind you, I'm
They're
repping a
beasts
crew.
already, yeah.
They're
They're
beasts.
beasts already.
So I know you're known, I know you're popular, but I know guys you can't mess with.
Yeah.
When I went to Tanzania, you know what AY told me? They said, you think we're dope? Well, the real dope guys are in Arusha.
Yeah.
Do you understand me?
Yeah.
You know what that even today means?
Yeah.
It's like Uganda has failed to big up its dope people because they're not in the scene. You understand?
Yeah.
So just because they're not on your screen, it doesn't mean they're
they're not the guys.
Man. You know what I mean? So learn that, you know.
You see, this was my problem with inviting Baba. I knew he was going to dodge my questions with all this.
I didn't dodge your question, by the way. I gave you some MCs. Yeah? They just didn't come from the limelight. They came from the underdog sound. You know, but they're called the cypher what? Kabakas.
Yeah. Nah,
you know? I mean, which other name you hearing out there that sounds like cypher Kabaka? Hey,
no, I mean, the thing about it is like I always said, if a rapper, a MC is in a clique and that is the name, stay away from them if you can't hang. Flat out, like you're not going to call yourselves Cypher Kabakas and you're not it, and you're not it. That is like real. You embody it fully. And if the videos we've seen of you and Spider and just Spider on his own, it's so effortless, but it's so potent.
That's what I was gonna tell you. I said we've hosted people in the ciphers.
Yeah.
And so if you've never been in a cipher that comes from the source, what happens is that your projection and your spirit and how it's delivered is totally different.
Yeah.
And you could witness it yourself and feel like, hold up, what did I put myself up against? You know? And I've seen people suffering with that. I have it on video. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to get that footage for you. Exclusive on the TheSoUgPodcast.
And it's our peers. It's our peers. These are not people. These are people we move with. They have dope albums. But when it comes to the space of energy, it's a whole different thing.
It's a whole different thing. And you know also what happened is like, I think now we're just going to talk some hip hop shit. I think when you become that type of MC where it's like, or now you're recording for a purpose, your whole energy shifts. So it's like, while before, I mean, DV8, if you stepped on the stage at DV8, if you didn't rap, you'd probably be on stage on a Wednesday. But Friday and Saturday, if you did rap, even the crowd would boo you off. Like it was just nuts out there. Like, so like I think when people started recording and stopped coming together and just like battling. I don't know how many times. The first time I met Navio, we battled. Like we were being introduced. Oh, there's Navio, there's the Myth. Oh, okay, we battled each other. We're shooting with Nonini, we battled. A few weeks ago, we battled. Like, it's just like that. Just like, are you still sharp?
Yeah.
Are you still sharp? You just have to. And it's not battling, Ati, what you wrote the other day. No. We're freestyling, and it's like, damn, he got me this time. So you just sharpen your head and know that if I sit down with this guy, and we finish our meeting, and we have 30 minutes to waste.
Yeah.
You better have your bars.
And you know, I'll tell you the pure truth, man. Like, I see guys rapping, like, yo, they need a lot of help. And that comes from me saying that till today, a lot of albums, this is on a Luga flow note. Diversifying your weaponry to be able to represent yourself in multiple ways. Was when you become an artist.
Yeah.
So a rapper is a rapper until he aspires to be an artist.
Yeah.
And then he'll understand the power of the gift.
Yeah.
You know? Now, people don't understand that there's graduation phases. I was a rapper, man.
Yeah.
And then I had to graduate to become Babaluku, the artist.
Yeah.
And then I got to a point where I'm like, oh, the artist? What does the artist do?
Yeah, you're just Babaluku.
You know? And then I'm just Babaluku
this
now.
Thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Bavubuka Dynasty. Like, this is the last question.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Like, what are you guys' goals? You have Be Global, like you said.
Yeah.
What are your goals for? What are you trying to achieve for the next 5 years? What is it that you guys are trying to achieve?
We're not 5, 10.
No, I'm asking. Okay, 10.
You want the next years. 5? I think in decades. You know, Uganda thinks in 1. You'd be lucky to catch 6 months.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For the next 10, we long to have established a long-sounding foundation for the culture in Uganda.
Yeah.
Whereby we have institutionalized what we're doing into a body of work that serves communities and a young one who engage in the arts.
Yeah.
So we're looking at buying spaces, setting up dream houses,
Yeah.
and ensuring that communities north, east, west, and south have access of representing what we call the remix conversation.
Okay.
And the remix conversation is the idea that we want to see elders and the young ones have their room and space to dare to imagine the future that they want to contribute to.
Okay.
So, that is work fronted by Babaluku Nation. Okay, we started with Babaluku, the foundation. That was to engage us in community, learn about our people, their needs, what they need, and how we can be best of support. Yeah. And then we got into the dynasty. Yeah. That was to teach us how to make money, get paid, create, identify our passion. What can we do? What are our products? Yeah. So when we got with all of that, now we are at a call that's talking about Babaluku, the nation. Yeah. Why the nation? Because in the last 14 years, we have inspired successful stories that are impacting community, that are here and abroad doing work, and they always write us and send us notes of gratitude for why the space was created. And they now are challenging us because we got a message recently of a young man who's a powerful engineer in the UK. He said, I grew up in Babaluku. This is what I'm doing. And it's like, but I would like to set up Babaluku Scholar. Nice. How do I do that for the scholars? Yeah, so when you start getting you're bigger,
getting challenged by your own people.
Yeah. You know where the work is, right? I like to term it all in conclusive that we are about legacy work. Yeah. So if you want to talk with Babaluku, yes, we will always be here to cater to your hip hop understanding, but our focus is on legacy work for the culture. To ensure that generations will always remember we were here building for them and ensuring that their voices were being heard.
Brah. And that's it. I made sure I came with a better scarf than his. Peace.
I don't know, man. I don't know. How long that one is?
Yo, I came with a short one. I'm 6'2", man. I decided to do My guy, appreciate it, man.
Yes, it's all love, fam. It's all love.